one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes to us from the Register Guard out of Eugene, Oregon. Eugene, Oregon's police auditor found 31 allegations of misconduct by the Eugene police employees lodged in 2024 had merit, according to the auditor office's annual report presented June 18th of this year. A fatal police shooting was not one of them. Eugene's police auditor's office, which got a new leader June 20th of this year, investigates complaints made against the Eugene Police Department employees, reviews Eugene PD uses of force, and presents data and takeaways in an annual report. In the 2025 report, interim police auditor Lindsay Foltz noted a slight decline in complaints overall, but found in the most serious of accusations, officers were at fault more often. The police auditor's office reviewed 320 complaints, and of them, 106 were dismissed at the preliminary investigation stage. 209 were closed following investigation. 3 were still open. This included an allegation of criminal conduct, an allegation of misconduct, and a respectful work environment complaint. 2 cases were administratively closed, meaning there was not enough evidence to complete an investigation, but the auditor could reopen them in the future. Foltz said complaints primarily correlate with community attention on police accountability rather than an increase or decrease in complaint-worthy behavior. The complaint numbers suggest interest has waned since George Floyd's murder in 2020. Allegations are the category used for serious misconduct. In 2024, the auditor's office received 51 allegations of misconduct against 14 Eugene PD employees, coming from 17 complaints. Of the 51 allegations, the auditor sustained, meaning substantiated, 31 of them involving 11 employees. The police auditor only investigates complaints and does not provide discipline. That's part of the police chief's job, yeah. Of the 11 employees, 1 resigned before being fired, 1 resigned during the investigation, 1 was given a written reprimand, and 8 were given documented counseling. 2 of the allegations rose to the level of criminal misconduct. 1 was against the employee who resigned during the investigation. The other was still open as of the report's release and was being investigated by the Oregon State Police. The report included a list of high-profile allegations in 2024. Unless otherwise noted, the auditor sustained the following. An officer failed to respond appropriately to a call of a suicidal subject. An officer did not demonstrate good judgment or sound and reasonable decision-making with the manner of driving while pursuing a property theft suspect who was fleeing on foot. An officer used poor judgment when the officer used a loaded firearm to break through a window to a room where fellow officers were confronting a suspect. This complaint didn't reach the auditor but was sustained by the police chief. An employee displayed inappropriate workplace conduct. An officer engaged in a foot pursuit with no cover officer through a crowded park. An employee continued to drive a motorized vehicle with a suspended license. An employee arrived to work intoxicated. Is that a cop? An employee was misrepresenting their time. The employee resigned before the investigation concluded. Now, an officer used pepper spray against a person engaged in passive resistance. A non-sworn officer violated procedure by driving in emergency response mode in his Eugene Police Department vehicle. An officer unintentionally discharged his firearm at the firing range. An officer treated citizens poorly and escalated situations during multiple separate incidents. That's a daily occurrence. An officer did not process property in accordance with policy when the property was distributed to coworkers. This complaint didn't reach the auditor, but was sustained by the police chief. Now, incident reviews are the police auditor's intermediate category. The police auditor received 13 of these complaints in 2024, all of which were closed after necessary follow-up and without reclassification. The bulk of the complaints received in 2024 fell into three categories the auditor's office considers minor. 187 were inquiries or a complaint that can be delegated to a Eugene PD supervisor. 88 were service complaints, which allege minor misconduct. 13 were policy complaints, which complain about a police department policy rather than an employee. And the police auditor investigated 173 uses of force in 2024. Of these, deadly force was used twice, once killing the suspect and once injuring them. The auditor is not the lead on police killings, but can assist those handling the investigations, an interagency law enforcement review team, the district attorney, and Eugene PD's Deadly Force Review Board. In both cases, the district attorney determined the officers acted lawfully. Of course he did. In the case where an officer killed a suspect, the auditor's office concluded there was no officer misconduct, but several important procedural processes were identified for improvement in future critical incidents. The other case where he was injured was still open as of the report's release. The fatal shooting was the November 26th Moon Mountain shooting that killed Guy Cruz Jr., who was wanted on charges out of Washington state. The district attorney determined the officer acted in self-defense while trying to apprehend a man accused of violating his federal probation on drug-related charges. Boltz noted Eugene police officers not responding quickly enough has represented a growing share of complaints to her office in recent years. In the 2025 report, there were 31 such complaints. There were 6 complaints of response time in the 2023 report. Foltz said her office looked into these cases and concluded the challenge was a lack of patrol resources as opposed to a problem with dispatch. She said Eugene Police Department is looking to more accurately allocate those resources. Foltz noted in recent years, the office observed an increase in Eugene PD vehicle pursuits, recording 3 in 2021, 10 in 22, and 18 in 23. This trend reversed in 24 with 8. According to Foltz in 2014, Eugene PD updated its vehicle pursuit policies to limit the practice, which can be dangerous for the officer, the suspect, and bystanders, bringing the number from over 20 per year to single digits. During the recent jump, there was some extreme unsafe driving, included an officer driving the wrong way on a one-way street, Foltz said. Foltz attributed the increase to a misunderstanding in training. Eugene PD updated this policy in 2022 to allow more pursuits, but not to the extent seen in 23. Foltz said retraining has brought the number back down. Retraining. I don't know. Bottom line here from this whole story is you see that the Eugene, and this is just one police department in America, Eugene, Oregon. It's one. How many police departments do we have in the United States from coast to coast, from border to border that are getting complaints? But in this one police department, you see all these allegations that are turned into complaints, or these complaints that become allegations. And are they really disciplining people? Well, he was given a reprimand. Well, it was criminal misconduct, but he resigned. He's not a cop no more. But was he ever charged? He's criminal. No. That's the thing about being a cop and having a badge is you can be a criminal and just say, I quit. I'm done. And then go to another police department 200 miles away, apply for a position, get hired, and be a cop all over again.